Okay, so I was going to make a real quick video on how to use a calculator online to calculate your calories for your intake. Obviously, there's a really big thing at the moment where people like to know how much to have in what's in this food, how many calories they should have a day, how much they need to lose weight, blah, 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 blah. And especially after the 7-week sort of lockdown for us in NZ, I'm sure that's something that's very important for a few of us. So I thought this was going to be easy. I thought, oh yeah, I'll just get the calculator, spit it out. And I was like, actually, no, I'll go back and read the research that I have and just check and double check. And then I thought, actually, I'll read some more research. And then I read more research, and I read systematic reviews, there's a meta-analysis. And now here I am. This is version 4 of this video because I'm like, you know what? The other ones I had to scrap because the more I learned, the more I realized it's not as clear and precise and concise as I thought it was. So there's the Schofield, there's the Oxford, there's the Miffins, there's the Harris-Benedict, there's the Quinello, there's the Henry equations out there that are all trying to figure out how many calories or resting metabolic rate energy is needed for a human to sort of function on. From all of the reading and the research, pretty much there's no one calculator that's going to give you the most precise right answer because the test subjects or when it was done or the area in which it was completed, e.g. Europe, North America for the Miffins study, all throw off the numbers slightly. So if you talk about representatives from the tropics and Polynesian, Māori and these other sort of different ethnicities, even Asian and Indian, their representation in these studies isn't that big. So the numbers aren't necessarily that clear and concise for us. Anyway, it comes down to this. So far what I know is the Henry-Benedict, the Harris-Benedict, and the Miffins and the Schofield are the 3 top ones. If you use any of those, you'll probably get some idea of numbers. The Miffins was the best in terms of preciseness in kids or females from the age, I think, of 7 to 18, but that's not me and most of the people that ever asked me for this information, so it probably was going to be irrelevant. So if you are going to use a calculator, look, there's a few different options out there. There's a Schofield equation calculator that I'll put in the link. There's also this other one that I use with calculator.net, and you can actually choose which option you want. You've got the Miffins, you've got the revised Harris-Benedict, and you can choose to test one, see what the number is, test the other, see what the number is, and maybe just create the average. That's what I usually do with clients, is I'll take the average of those numbers. And finally, just remember when you're doing this, these are just guidelines or they're just sort of starting points. So again, with my clients, I'll say, okay, cool. This is the number. What I wouldn't mind you doing is not going straight into weight loss straight away, but let's just figure out where that calorie ceiling is. So we might go for a couple of weeks or 3 weeks, increasing the calories till we find the upper limit. And then say, okay, cool. We know the upper limit, and that's usually when they start to gain weight. Now we can work backwards from that number and actually create a deficit versus just taking that number that's off a calculator that might not be 100% accurate and telling them to jump down from there. And then find out that they can't sustain it. And if weight loss was their goal, it's probably only going to last for like 1 or 2 weeks before they just can't do it anymore, and then they blow it in the weekend. I hope that gives you some clarity, and it might make you a little bit smarter, and you can go tell your friends that there is no calculator that's perfect. There's just a combination of some, and it's a bit of testing. Namaste. Great news. Before we go, I just found a multi-calculator for you, so that way you can type in your numbers once, and then it spits them all out pretty much underneath each other. You get the Harris-Benedict, you get the revised Harris-Benedict, you get the resting metabolic rate, you get the Schofield, you get the Institute of Medicine, I don't even know what that one is, but you get all of those on one page, and then you can just take the average of all those. Voila, I did all the hard work for you.